goodness for YouTube. Hey everybody, how we doing? Nice to see that everybody got through the lines and everybody got some food. I've been having a lot of really interesting conversations and I'm just thrilled to have everybody here today. Before we get into a very brief awards thing, I want to take a moment to celebrate what I think is the single biggest win that came out of last summit. And we had a lot of wins. At our 2024 summit, my wife, Dara Schoenwald, my partner in everything. Yeah, Dara, there you go. Led a workshop with one goal. It's to figure out how we get 3,000 people to pre-order the new Biscayne Bay license plate so it could go into production. We left that room with a plan, and then we actually worked it. We did tabling, outreach, promotion, the kind of work that many of you do every single weekend in the causes that you care about. To be frank, I get a little competitive, right? And I got very competitive on this one. And I was really excited to say that I personally signed up number 3,000. Yeah. We were tabling at the boat show, it was hot as could be, and I've got this ticker going on, and I'm like, I just need one more. And it reminded me of something important. The real work doesn't happen behind a keyboard, it happens in the field. So, who in this room has received and put on their car one of these beautiful new Biscayne Bay license plates? Okay, so while I didn't see a lot of hands, that's actually really exciting for me because we have to get 3,000 of these on vehicles in order to keep this into production. If you don't want my car to be the only car that has a beautiful Biscayne Bay license plate, go to your tax collector. Did anybody get a voucher and hasn't redeemed it? Okay. A bunch more people. So if you got a voucher, then it's free. So our work is not done yet. We need 3,000 more of these deployed on cars. So I need everyone in this room to go to their tag agency and get your plate and proudly show it off. If you got one of these free pre-production vouchers, you can thank Josh Fox from the Brady Hunter Foundation, who funded all 3,000 and eliminated the massive barrier to getting this done. Yeah. So more on Josh in a moment. We're gonna come back to him. But none of this would have been possible without Senator Ileana Garcia and former House Rep Nick Duran, who filed this bill to make it happen. And the partnership between the county and the Miami Foundation providing the infrastructure to make it happen. This is what a real win looks like, and an idea in a workshop turned into a plan, turned into action, turned into something you can put on your car. And that brings us perfectly to our awards. So our first award is the Biscayne Bay Lifetime of Advocacy Award. And it was a very quick decision on who we wanted to recognize. Laura Reynolds. Sorry? Oh, this says Lauren.
All right, you guys. So I do want to talk about Laura Reynolds. Again, she is getting the honor of the Biscayne Bay Lifetime of Advocacy Award. So I'll tell you something about Laura and something she's taught me personally. Protecting Biscayne Bay means protecting the Everglades because these systems do not exist in isolation. Laura understood that long ago before people were having that conversation. For years, she has educated, organized, and advocated for Biscayne Bay through her leadership with Friends of Biscayne Bay, helping elevate the Bay as one of South Florida's defining environmental priorities. She has also been a relentless advocate to hold the urban development boundary line through the Hold the Line Coalition. Fighting to ensure that we protect the lands we know we need for Everglades restoration. The fight is unglamorous, relentless, and never really ends. Laura has shown up for it anyway, decade after decade. She has elevated issues when it was not popular, stayed in the fight when others moved on, and reminded us all that the Bay is not just an environmental resource, it's part of who we are as a community. So I am so excited to, give this award to Laura, so please join me in congratulating Laura, again, recipient of the 2026 Biscayne Bay Lifetime of Advocacy Award. Yeah, where's our photographer? Photographer. Where? Okay.
Okay. Well, then get over here.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so humbled and so excited that there's a room full of Bay advocates. Holy cow, it's like a dream come true. For a long time, we've talked about making this all happen. Way back in the BBRCT days, does anyone remember the Biscayne Bay Task Force of the Everglades? If you know that acronym, then you've been around. You're probably one of my mentors, so thank you for cheering me along, for teaching me to never give up. And I think in the spirit of the Everglades Coalition, and channeling Bob Graham, who would always give us advice or homework every time we had a conference, I'd like to just tell you about a few things that I think our homework should be. The first message that I got from the last panel was obviously we need to hold the line. So if you are engaged in land use issues, thank you. And if you're not, please get involved. That Kelly Tractor wetland issue is coming back June 2nd. So if you haven't contacted your commissioners, that's part of your homework. Uphold the mayor's veto and make land use issues a priority. And then something that we've been talking about for decades is getting all the Biscayne Bay data into one place, which FIU, shout out to FIU, has been working on. And so we need help to make that happen. And if you're not involved in that, give your data freely and let's make this database a reality. Third, this is Joe Serafy's idea. We need a book about Biscayne Bay with the history and all of the science in one place. He says the Everglades has one, we need one. So that's another idea, another homework. And then we also need to get this Adopt a Storm Drain project off the ground where public-private partnerships pay in to increase our ability to put filters in these storm drains and educate the public. That's Friends of Biscayne Bay's idea, and let's make that happen. We worked on that with the county, and I think that's it. If you like any of these projects, I'd love to help you engage and plug in. And if I don't know you, I want to know you if you're in this room. And I look forward to the next 25 years working with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so the next award is the Biscayne Bay Legislative Champion Award, which in our honoree could not be here with us today, but we're thrilled to recognize her anyway. This past legislative season, Senator Ileana Garcia introduced 5 pieces of legislation that would directly benefit Biscayne Bay, including SB 302 on nature-based solutions and SB 240 on marine debris reduction. She's become Biscayne Bay's legislative champion. She also played a critical role in making the Biscayne Bay license plate a reality, the one we just celebrated a few moments ago. Strong environmental policy requires leaders willing to take on complex, glamorous, or unglamorous challenges for the long haul. Senator Garcia is that leader. So please join me in recognizing Senator Ileana Garcia, recipient of the 2026 Biscayne Bay Legislative Champion Award. We'll send her this video later so she could see everybody clapping for her. Awesome. Award number 3 is, and the final award, this is the Biscayne Bay Philanthropic Leadership Award. I mentioned Josh Fox a moment ago in connection with the license plate, but that's just one chapter of a much bigger story. The Brady Hunter Foundation invests in 3 pillars: kids, animals, and the environment. If you think about it for a second, those three things are exactly what is at stake when we talk about Biscayne Bay. The children who will inherit this ecosystem, the wildlife that depends on it, and the environment that sustains all of it. Josh didn't just write a check, he found a mission that aligned perfectly with everything his foundation stands for. In the case of the license plate, Josh funded 3,000 pre-production vouchers, removing a barrier that would have literally stopped this entire effort and made it really, really difficult to achieve. That's the kind of move that doesn't just make headlines, but makes everything possible. It's strategic, it's impactful, and it's exactly what great philanthropic leadership looks like. Please join me in congratulating Josh Fox, recipient of the 2026 Biscayne Bay Philanthropic Leadership Award. We'll take a picture in a minute. Go on.
Dave's a little taller than me. Humbled and honored to be in a room of such great people who truly care about the things that we care about, which are kids, animals, and the environment. And it's nice to see so many people taking time out of their day, busy lives, to help something bigger than themselves, right? And I hope that most people get to where I got to in my life, when you realize how precious life is, how finite life is, and that you want to do something bigger than yourself to make a lasting impact for generations to come. And that moment happened for me after my dogs passed away, Brady and Hunter, which is where our foundation is named after. This guy, Tom Brady, that I went to the University of Michigan with, named my dog after him 20 plus years ago. And we're just a force to reckon with. We're doing work all over the world to really make an impact. I don't know if you saw the story that happened in the last couple of days up in Fort Lauderdale. This horrible dog was really abused and was left in a box at a Walgreens, and we stepped up. We're all over the news the last couple of days trying to save this dog's life. If you've seen the news, it's hard not to see this story. But this is the kind of stuff that we do and the things that we step up for. And when we heard about the license plates, we said this project will never happen unless we go ahead and purchase those license plates. So we were happy to do it. And here we are, years later, it's much of a reality. So if I can leave you with anything, it would be to inspire others to do good and to help thy neighbor. So thanks and have a great day.